Have you ever had that where, you're wrestling with some problem and you just can't crack it, and then you sleep on it, and bam, suddenly the solution is just right there. It's
Absolutely.
happened to me with work stuff, even just like figuring out what to make for dinner. I
Yeah.
swear, it's like magic.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to be exploring the science behind that aha moment and how our dreams just might be like the secret weapon
Yeah.
behind some of our very best ideas.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be looking at how dreaming specifically, the REM sleep stage, can fuel creativity.
Okay.
And we have excerpts from a book chapter all about dream creativity and even dream control to guide our exploration.
Dream control.
Yeah.
That sounds like something straight out of Inception.
It kind of is.
Okay, but first things first, what is actually happening in our brains when we dream?
Well, during deep sleep, or non-rapid eye movement sleep, which is a mouthful, so we'll call it NREM,
NREM, got
our brains are busy strengthening the memories we've made during the day.
Okay.
And then comes REM sleep, and that's where things get really interesting, because that's where those memories get remixed into entirely new combinations.
So it's like our brains are DJs taking all these different tracks,
Yeah.
memories, and experiences and creating like a whole new mashup.
Exactly, like a dream matchup. And that process of REM sleep, blending memories to create new ideas, is what the author calls idesthesia.
Idesthesia.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool word, right?
I like it.
And it can lead to some pretty remarkable creative breakthroughs.
Like that story of Dmitri Mendeleev and the periodic table.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he struggling for years to organize the elements?
Oh, he was completely obsessed. Imagine Mendeleev was so driven to solve this puzzle that he even created playing cards for each element.
What?
Yeah, so he could like try different arrangements,
Oh, wow.
But after years of work and probably very little sleep, the solution came to him in a dream. He saw the entire structure of the periodic table, how the elements fit together, all laid out before him.
So his brain basically did all the hard work while he was sleeping.
It seems that way.
That's incredible. Are there other examples of these like dream-inspired breakthroughs?
Oh, there are quite a few. Think about Paul McCartney and the melody for Yesterday.
Oh,
He
yeah.
woke up with the tune fully formed in his head. Or Keith Richards, who dreamt up the iconic riff for Satisfaction and even recorded it half asleep.
Wow.
So yeah, it seemed our dreams can be a wellspring of creative inspiration.
Okay, but how do scientists actually study something as elusive as a sleeping brain?
Right.
It's not like we can just ask someone what they're dreaming about while it's happening.
It is tricky, but researchers have developed some pretty clever methods.
Okay.
One study used a technique called sleep inertia, which is basically that groggy feeling you get right after waking up.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
We've all been there.
Yeah, I'm practically useless for the first hour after I wake up.
Well, it turns out that grogginess actually gives us a window into what our brains were doing during sleep.
Okay.
So researchers woke people up from different sleep stages.
Okay.
And then immediately gave them cognitive tests, like solving anagrams.
So they're testing people while they're still half asleep?
Pretty much.
That's a bold strategy.
It is. It's a bold strategy, but it worked.
And what did they find?
The results were fascinating. People were significantly better at solving those anagrams after waking from REM sleep,
Really?
compared to NREM or even when they were wide awake during the day.
Wow.
And the solutions often just popped into their minds effortlessly,
Huh.
like their brains had already done the heavy lifting while they were dreaming.
It's like our subconscious is working on these problems in the background while we sleep.
Yeah.
So REM sleep isn't just about resting our bodies. It's actively helping us make sense of the world and come up with new ideas.
That's exactly it. And it's not just about processing individual bits of information either.
Okay.
Another study showed that REM sleep actually changes how our brains connect ideas.
Interesting.
When we're awake, our thinking tends to be very linear.
Mm-hmm.
We see connections between concepts that are already closely related. But during REM sleep, the brain breaks free of those limitations.
Huh.
It's like suddenly seeing the world from a completely different perspective,
Okay.
allowing you to make connections you wouldn't normally see.
So instead of looking at like individual puzzle pieces, our brain during REM sleep is able to see the whole picture.
Precisely. And that's what allows us to make those creative leaps and solve problems in innovative ways.
Wow.
It makes you wonder, though, right? Does the content of our dreams actually matter?
Right.
Or is it just the act of REM sleep itself that's important?
Yeah, that is a great question.
Yeah.
It seems like it should, right? Like maybe dreaming about work would help us solve work problems.
Yeah, it's a logical assumption. And there's some interesting research that suggests that the content of our dreams does play a role. One study, the book calls it the ABC experiment, looked at how REM sleep helps us connect seemingly unrelated pieces of information.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How did they test that?
Well, they show participants a series of relationships like A is bigger than B and then B is bigger than C.
So kind of like a logic puzzle.
Exactly. But here's the catch. Only those who slept and experienced REM sleep were able to consistently figure out that A must also be bigger than C.
Hmm.
Their brains had connected those seemingly disparate pieces of information during sleep, leading them to that insightful conclusion.
Wow, that's fascinating. So it's not just about knowing facts, it's about seeing the connections between them. It's like the difference between just reading a recipe
Right.
and actually understanding how the flavors work together to create a deliciousness.
That's a great analogy. It's about moving beyond simple knowledge to true understanding and wisdom. And this idea is further supported by what they call the number string experiment,
Okay,
where participants were given a series of numbers and asked to figure out a hidden rule. Those who slept were 3 times more likely to discover the shortcut,
interesting.
demonstrating that sleeping on it isn't just a saying, it actually works.
Yeah, I've definitely had the experience of being totally stumped on something, sleeping on it, and then waking up with a fresh perspective. Is that what's happening with these experiments?
It seems likely. There's also Robert Stickgold's experiment with virtual mazes participants who dreamt about elements of the maze, even if those dreams were abstract, performed 10 times better than those who didn't.
Wow, so it's not like our dreams are literally replaying our experiences, but rather integrating them with our knowledge and making sense of them.
Exactly. And that brings us to another intriguing figure mentioned in the book, Thomas Edison.
Okay.
He was a big believer in the power of naps and even designed his workspace to capture those fleeting moments of inspiration.
Wait, didn't Edison claim to barely sleep?
That's the common myth. The reality is Edison was a master of the power nap. Picture this Edison in his chair with a metal saucepan strategically placed beneath his hand.
Okay.
He'd hold a few ball bearings, and as he drifted off, they'd slip from his grasp, clanging against the pan and jolting him awake.
He was literally catching those ideas as they emerged from his dreams. That's so clever.
He calls it the genius gap, that moment between sleep and wakefulness, where those brilliant ideas could surface.
Huh.
All of this makes me wonder, what if we could intentionally direct our dreams? That's where lucid dreaming comes in.
Lucid dreaming. That's when you're aware that you're dreaming and can even control what happens, right?
Yeah,
I've always been fascinated about that, but is it even real?
it was once considered a fringe concept, but thanks to modern science, we now have concrete evidence that lucid dreaming is a real phenomenon.
Really?
MRI studies have shown that when lucid dreamers perform specific actions in their dreams, like clenching their left hand, those same brain regions that control those actions while awake light up.
Wow, so they're actually sending signals from their dream world to the real world. That is mind-blowing. What does this mean for the potential of using lucid dreaming to boost creativity? Could we train ourselves to become lucid dreamers and solve problems in our sleep?
That's a question researchers are actively exploring. The idea of harnessing lucid dreaming for problem solving or creative exploration is incredibly exciting. Imagine intentionally steering your dreams towards a specific challenge or using them as a canvas for brainstorming and innovation.
That would be incredible to be able to tap into that creative potential on demand. But is that even possible? Can anyone learn to lucid dream?
There's still much we don't know about lucid dreaming, but the fact that it's a measurable neurological phenomenon opens up a world of possibilities. Perhaps with practice and the right techniques, we can all learn to become more aware in our dreams and even learn to guide them in a specific direction.
So maybe instead of just waiting for inspiration to strike in our dreams, we can actually seek it out, direct it, shape it.
Exactly.
This completely changes how I think about the potential of sleep and dreaming. Yeah, it really is a fascinating concept. It makes you wonder if there's an evolutionary advantage to lucid dreaming.
hmm
I mean, why would our brains develop this ability to become aware and even in control within our dreams?
It's a question that has puzzled scientists for a long time. But when you connect it back to the idea of dream-fueled creativity, some interesting possibilities emerge. Perhaps lucid dreaming allows us to tap into that problem-solving power of REM sleep in a more deliberate way.
So instead of just passively waiting for our brains to make those connections, we could actively guide the process
Right.
and steer our dreams toward finding solutions to specific challenges.
Exactly. It's like becoming the architect of your own creative journey, consciously exploring different pathways and solutions within the dreamscape.
This entire deep dive has completely shifted my perspective on sleep and dreaming. I used to think of sleep as just a way to recharge,
Yeah,
but now I see it as this incredible tool for creativity and problem solving.
it's a powerful shift in thinking. And even if the idea of lucid dreaming seems a bit far-fetched for you right now, the research we've discussed today really underscores the undeniable connection between sleep and our cognitive abilities.
Right.
Paying attention to our dreams, even without conscious control, can offer valuable insights and spark those aha moments.
So even if we're not all training to become lucid dreamers, we can still benefit from simply being more mindful of our dreams
Absolutely.
and the messages they might be trying to convey.
Keep a dream journal by your bed. Reflect on the emotions and themes that emerge from your dreams. You might be surprised by the hidden connections and creative sparks you uncover.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to start paying more attention to my dreams. Who knows, maybe the solution to that project that's been stumping me is waiting for me in my dreamscape. But what about the future of lucid dreaming research? What are some of the potential applications beyond just boosting creativity?
Oh, the possibilities are truly exciting. Imagine using lucid dreaming to overcome phobias by safely confronting fears within the dream world,
Wow.
or helping people with PTSD process trauma in a controlled environment. There's even potential for using lucid dreaming to enhance motor skills and improve athletic performance.
It sounds like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with lucid dreaming. It's like a whole new frontier of human potential waiting to be explored.
It is, and while we've covered a lot of ground today, remember this is just the beginning of our understanding of how dreams influence our waking lives. There's still so much to learn, so much to discover.
Well, this deep dive has certainly inspired me to explore further, to pay more attention to the world of my dreams, and maybe even see if I can take the wheel and become a lucid dreamer myself.
And remember, even if you don't become a master of dream control, simply being aware of the power of sleep and the incredible creativity that emerges from our dreams can be a game changer.
So embrace the mystery, the strangeness, the unexpected adventures that unfold in your dreamscape. You never know what brilliant solutions or creative breakthroughs might be waiting to be discovered. And if you have any amazing dream-inspired aha moments, we'd love to hear about them. Until next time, happy dreaming.